Let's talk about mortgage applications, right? You know that rates are low. You know that this is probably financially a good time to finance. Is there so much red tape, though, from the banks that it's harder to do it? Yeah, actually, kind of. Ruth Simon here with a story about this one. Did you brought the story with you?
Yes, I brought the
physical story? I just printed it out. Let's talk about this because we know rates are low. We had the Mortgage Banker survey, the weekly one came out this week. We know rates are low. We know people want to finance. Why are they having some trouble financing? Refinancing, I should say.
The pipeline is clogged. There's a lot of demand from people who want to lock in low rates and refinance, and the industry has consolidated, which means that the pipeline is clogged. There's less room for these loans to get through. And the other thing we're seeing is the banks are putting applications under more scrutiny, so that they're double and triple checking things like your income, your home value.
As opposed to not checking things at all, which is what they were doing.
Before you didn't even have to show your income. So they're trying to make sure these are good loans because they don't want to get hit with the cost of buying them back. And there's also, there are companies that have gone out of business. The biggest banks control a much larger share of the loan market, and it just is meaning that it's harder to get this done. Some of the big banks are telling borrowers it could take as long as 90 days to get a refinancing done.
Which is a much longer time frame than it was, say, even in 2007, right?
Yes, which is a much longer time period. And they're letting borrowers lock in their rates, which means that unless you're not keeping up and providing your own paperwork, you should be able to get the rate. But if you think you're going to go into the bank and 2 weeks or 4 weeks later end up with this new low rate.
That's not going to happen.
Not at least at some of the biggest banks.
And part of this is a competition thing. You say the large banks control a bigger share of the market. It sort of makes it harder for you to go out and shop rates, doesn't it?
Well, it's a good idea to shop rates, but what I think you'd say is because there is less competition, rates are higher than they might normally be given how low interest rates are right now. And it's really important if you're looking to refinance, you want to shop around for rates. You also want to shop around for costs. One of the things that we found is that some of the key components of a mortgage transaction, whether it's a refinance or a purchase, have gone up in price. Some of that is less competition. Some of it is just, again, the same thing we're talking about, that the banks are trying to be more diligent, but you have to pay attention to the bottom line.
As always, right? In all things.
Definitely.
All right, we have to leave it there. Ruth, thank you very much.